Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. Khushamdi. Ji ayanu. Goeiemorgen.
Pagheragele, ni hao, churishume, washmale, ohio gonzaimas, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifa hal, halashama chatore, ahlan wasalan marhaba, kaifa haluka, buna, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside the very amazing, the very talented, the very fabulous Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you today?
I am absolutely great. How are you?
I'm absolutely perfect. You know, the day, for example, when I was about to sleep last night, so the thought of waking up to a Friday morning
Oh,
is always very fabulous too as well.
it lifts the spirit.
Yeah, it does lift the spirit, but I don't know about you because, you know, you're working on weekends too as well. So how do you feel about a Friday? Just like a normal weekday?
It's like any other day from the week. But then again, I'm excited for this Friday because this weekend is going to be all about weddings and whatnot. My friends are getting married.
Wow.
So it's going to be exciting. But then again, I don't have any day off. I mean, I will be working and attending weddings as well.
Well,
so.
that's great. I think you're in the perfect age bracket too, as well, where a person can actually handle all of,
True.
you know, this kind of business too. But other than that, you know, not having a single free day to your own self, how do you feel about it? Or do you think that, you know, okay, even if I have to put in like this much amount of hard work for like 2 years, 3 years, and then I might probably be something or somebody in a matter of 4 or 5 years, which we wish you luck to as well.
Thank
How do you
you.
feel about it? How do you get motivated?
Well, thank you, but that's what I believe. I feel like I'm in my 20s and I have all the sort of energies that I need to put into my work.
Yeah.
So once I'm out of my 20s into my 30s, then I need to probably chill a little. And by the time, you know, in my 40s, I need to retire and have a peaceful life. So in my 20s, I actually do need to work a lot. And I think that is a sort of an ideology that everyone should work on.
But you know what? You know, there's this one very simple problem with me, and that is that, you know, I'm not just getting out of my 20s. I don't know. I'm just still there.
But
So,
that's great. Spiritually, I think it's great. You're
it's
almost
not even
young,
spiritually,
right?
it's physically too as well. Come on, don't do that. Okay, but that's fine, ladies and gentlemen. We definitely want you to be healthy. We definitely
Yes,
want you all
absolutely.
to prosper. We definitely want you all to be
But,
successful.
yes.
And we want you all to stay tuned to PTV World.
Yes, that too. But other than Friday, I know our spirits are lifted because of Friday. But what else are we talking about today?
Okay, so to give that away, you know, it's a very simple thing, ladies and gentlemen. I think that this is a message for everybody who's out there, for the youngsters of Pakistan too as well. And at the time when it was said, I think that the environment was very crucial in terms for Muslims to actually survive. So this is how I'm going to say it, because, you know, back then, you know, I think it was said for all the youngsters who were out there, Muslim youngsters too specifically as well. So it is something like that. तू शाही है परवाज है काम तेरा तेरे सामने आसमां और भी हैं.
इसी रोज़ो शब में उलझ के ना रह जा कि तेरे ज़माओ मकां और भी हैं.
Wow, so ladies and gentlemen, today we are definitely celebrating the birth anniversary of Allama Dr. Muhammad Iqbal as well, ladies and gentlemen, very well known as the spiritual father or Shair-e-Mashriq too as well, ladies and gentlemen. So I think happy birthday, and happy birthday to all of what you have given to us in terms of
Absolutely.
literature. He was a barrister. He was one of the very renowned literary figures all over the
absolutely.
world too as well. And he was the person, you know, this is something which is very interesting, that Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah actually left the political party back then as well. I think it was All India Muslim League Party too as well. And then Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal convinced Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah to come back to the party, because other than him, we didn't actually have a leader.
Wow.
So, and he was born in Sialkot back
Yes, in 1877, and after he went out to pursue his studies further, he sort of joined the London branch of All India Muslim League. And then we also call him Mufakkar-e-Pakistan because he sort of presented the ideology of Pakistan on the basis of course, you know, the two-nation theory, which meant we're totally different people and we do not need or deserve to live together.
Exactly, and then at the same time, you know, since you're taking us back into history too as well, ladies and gentlemen, whenever we talk about Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal, he's also known as the spiritual father of Pakistan, because of the fact that I think that he put in a lot of effort to get back to Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, and then to convince him that, you know, things will work out and you probably need to lead the party. And I think this is why we still, up till date, you know, we live in a land which is very sovereign in values too as well. And I think we'll continue to live, because nothing can undo Pakistan. That's our promise, and that will be the promise of the coming generations too as well. Thanks to Pakistan Army, Pakistan Air Force, Pakistan Navy, who've actually been looking after the borders too.
Well, absolutely, you're right. And you know, if you look at the poetry and all the work that Allama Iqbal has done, he has certain themes that follow the work, and they are so timeless. I mean, even now, after so many years,
Yeah.
they're still relevant in terms of Pakistan as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like he was so ahead of his time, right?
Yeah, you just reminded me of Shikwa and Jawab-e-Shikwa
Oh,
too as well,
God.
you know. So those are masterpieces, and imagine somebody that who actually writes something for people to understand. And I think this is what we have picked up on too as well, ladies and gentlemen, that
Yes.
today what we are going to do is that we are going to reiterate the message which he gave to all the Muslims of that time too as well. And I
Yes.
think it is still applicable to all of
Indeed,
us. And to
yes.
do that, you know, we've got a bunch of very amazing people over here in the studios. Back in the day when I used to be in the school, and you know, Siyako Sabak and Tashriya and all of these
Yeah.
things. So for all those people who do not really understand Urdu, let me tell you, so it's like comprehension and then translation of the poetry too.
Yeah.
So, and it used to be so difficult because I just couldn't get my head back to that as well. For example, remembering all of this shero shairi, you know, tu shahi hai, parwaaz hai, kaam tera, tere samne aasmaan aur bhi hai.
Well, if you expect me to say the next line, I'm not.
No, but other than that, you know,
Yes.
or probably पेवस्ता रह शजर से उम्मीद बहार and then खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर
Yes.
तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता
बता
तेरी
तेरी
रजा क्या है. I think that's the entire message, but he's given it to us in a
Yes.
very short line, which we call his poetry. But
Yeah.
how do we understand? I think there's a greater responsibility on our teachers, on our parents, on our forefathers to make us
impart those
understand.
values,
Yeah,
yes.
to impart those values and then at the same time validate those values too as well,
Absolutely,
which is very
absolutely.
important. So to talk about this, we
Yeah.
have been
It's
joined.
such a big,
yeah.
big task, yes, of course. And we just found it very relevant to call the teachers who shape the society, actually,
Yeah.
the unsung heroes of the society, to talk about Iqbal's Day and how they feel that the younger generation, this is probably the fourth or fifth generation, ever
Exactly.
since Pakistan came into being. And we want them to tell us how they are still struggling to or are trying to inculcate. What's so funny?
Well, the only reason why I'm smiling and laughing, ladies and gentlemen, is that, you know, I don't think that I'm going to agree to the fact that way Shiza said that this is the fifth or the sixth generation.
Fourth or fifth, yes.
Oh, yeah, because of the fact that people over in Pakistan are so habitual of producing babies that you cannot actually keep account of which generation it is. But other than
That's
that,
true,
ladies and
yes.
gentlemen, jokes apart, we're celebrating and we're definitely going to try to reiterate the message of Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal as well. So on my right hand side, to do that, ladies and gentlemen, we've been joined by an educationist. She's a singer too as well. She's been on the show earlier. And she's fabulous with whatever she says. She's none other than Miss Sana Nehmat. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
वालेकुम सलाम, आई एम गुड.
आपने कोई शेर सुना रही हैं आज हमें?
ऐसे तो बहुत से शेर हैं. आपको इकबाल का शेर सुनना है? ओके.
Yeah, yeah.
गुलामी में नाकाम आती हैं शमशीरें न तदबीरें, जो हो ज़ौक़े यकी पैदा तो कट जाती हैं जंजीरें.
Wow. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So this, I think this bandwagon is going to move on. So moving on, ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by another educationist. She's none other than Miss Romana Ahmed. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm good, alhamdulillah.
Thank you very much for joining us. And how do you feel to join us on such a day where you actually get to speak about Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal as well?
You know, it's been amazing, and thank you so much for providing us this opportunity to be on your show to talk about such a legendary person.
Exactly.
You know, we are blessed to have a person like Iqbal with us.
Amazing.
You know, the people like him with the vision, with the ideology that he has given, they are very rare. And you know, it was his ideology that we are living currently in this you know, separate homeland. And you know, when the whole nation at that time, when they were believing, they were a strong believer of Indian nationalism, he was the first one to awaken the spirit of Muslims.
Exactly.
That, you know, there is no way that we can live together. We have a separate ideology, we have a separate religion, our identity, our beliefs, our thoughts, everything is different from each
Exactly.
other.
Well, hold that thought. Thank you for saying that. We'll come back to that. But before,
Exactly.
we need to introduce.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, last but not the least, we have been joined by Miss Sabuhi Rana, and she's an educationist too as well. Hello, ma'am. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm fine and good.
And thank you very much for joining us too as well. But before we indulge in and ask about what the message or reiterate the message, there's one more thing which I wanted to talk about, and that is that I think we have totally, well, not really totally, but I think 50 or 60% of the culture is gone. Because if we go back in day, because I think I met one of my friend's great grandmother, she's still alive, and she still converses in shero shairi and in poetry, and that's how it used to be back in the day, back in 1960s and 70s. People used to communicate with poetry. Why do you think that they used to communicate with poetry? Because I think it strong a very hold or a pivotal position in relevance to when we talk about Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal, because of the fact that back in those days, even the poets of that time and era used to communicate in between through
Yeah.
poetry as well.
Yeah.
So let's start with that.
Okay, first of all, I would like to say that when Allah is being kind enough on different nations, He bless those nations with different spiritual souls.
Yes, absolutely.
And the same thing happened to us with the birth of the soul of Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal.
Yes.
And I feel that he has worked not only to revive not only one generation, but generation to generation. He revived by his poetry.
Right, right.
In numerous sections he worked over for children, for youth, for patriotism. Wherever you see his work, you feel a remarkable energy
Absolutely.
and different kind of work which he has done.
Absolutely.
I feel preferably that in youth what he has done, in Iqbal's poetry we can see that at that particular moment the main subject of Iqbal's poetry was youth. If we see that he has an unconditional spiritual love for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and that spiritual love for Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I think that was the unconditional love for such sacred personalities. I think that make him Ummatul Hakim, Hikimul Ummat, and poet of East.
Yes.
So we should keep that thing which values and the priorities which he gave us in his poetry. We should keep ourselves intact to that.
Absolutely. And since you've mentioned one of the themes of his poetry was mainly the religion Islam, and that is what he built the ideology on, right? So I don't know how to put this, but do you feel like that theme that he sort of, maintained throughout his poetry, in terms of relevance with today's youth in Pakistan, they're sort of missing out on that? I mean, are we still holding the pillar of the religion tightly as we used to that time?
Actually, what I believe that we cannot blame our youth for that,
Right.
because we need to build up that foundation. We need to are the one who need to give them those values. If you cannot inculcate those values, you cannot expect the youth to see in that perspective that was expected by Allama Muhammad Iqbal.
Right.
That's why he said that the teachers play a very important role in building up their youth, their nations, and they said that they are like builders, and they need to make the best out of the raw material that is available to them. So
Right.
I think that if that thing is missing in our youth, we cannot blame them wholly and solely.
Right.
That thing is missing in us, what I believe.
Thank you very much for saying that, and I'm going to continue on that too as well, because I remember a very amazing story which I read about Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal, and I'm going to come on to you with that question. So now, obviously, being a teacher is definitely your lifeline, but other than that, you have other house chores, you have your own kids, you have to look after, so you're mothers too.
Yeah.
Now, speaking about that, I still remember I was reading this book which was about Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal, and it narrated or it stated that when Allama Muhammad Iqbal's son was very young, and his father used to work for a bank. So, Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal's mother never actually fed him off the money which his father got from the bank, because she thought that it's money full of interest. So she saved her own money, got a goat, and used to feed the milk from the goat. So now, where Shiza actually said that are we still holding the pillar of Islam tightly or not, I think that the responsibility lies upon parents too as well. So would you mind highlighting the role of parents in disseminating the cultural and the religious values? Wow, super.
Smooth.
Like teachers, parents are also giving their role as well. And parents are the one where the children are living with, spending most of the time with the children.
Yeah.
And whatever the values they are inculcating among those children are definitely come up with the same.
So how do you plan or design the curriculum or the syllabus in school to make sure that the core values of our religion or
Stay
the core
intact.
values of our country stay intact
Yeah.
for the coming generation?
Like whatever the poetry is about, it's really the moral values in the Allama Iqbal's poetry, which we are reflecting in our children, in the school as well as at home as.
No, but you know how it used to happen in schools was that, for example, it was very necessary and imperative for us to remember all of those Siako Sabag and Tashriya.
Yeah.
And I still remember that there used to be poems from Mir Taki Mir and
Faizan.
and Ghalib Saab and then Dr. Allama Muhammad Iqbal as well. But then, you know, I think where schools went wrong was that they never picked up on Bangedara probably or Shikwa or
Yes.
Jawabi Shikwa. So but they're like, you know, they shortlist like 4 or 5 poems. That's it, go ahead. Now this is not how you actually learn. So
They should keep poetry as a subject in their own Urdu and
yeah.
English language.
Yes.
Let's start from it. Yeah.
So if we are going to add up these subject, like in our curriculum, like the Urdu poetry
Yeah.
regarding Allama Iqbal's poetry or some other poetries are relating with each other.
Yeah.
So the main thing is like we are giving the importance that what the poetry stands for.
Exactly,
Right,
that's
right.
great. And with that, I think what we're going to do is that we're actually going to come to Sana, because Sana, ladies and gentlemen, has actually prepared a kalam for us.
Yes.
And she's going to read it out. So let's go ahead, let's feel a little nostalgic for all those people who've actually heard it before too.
Okay, this is the Kalam of Iqbal, in which when I recite it, you will definitely came to know, because it was in my second year syllabus book.
Okay.
And as Shahzad said, that our teacher were used to be like, they were writing the Siyaq wa Sabaq and Tashriyat explanations. They used to dictate that explanation, and behind each and every word
Yeah.
of his poetry, there was a story.
Absolutely.
They were narrating about the basic concept, that from this word, where it came from, what is the
Right, right.
originating
So what
of
is
that.
the story behind this kalam
This
which
is
you're going to share?
spiritualism. There's a
Okay.
spirituality between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and a person, that why he is obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and what is the reasons behind it, and what is the love for Allah and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that ki Muhammad se wafa tune to hum tere hain, ye jahan cheez hai kya loho kalam tere hain.
Beautiful.
Let's
Let's
do
get
it.
to it.
Let's
Yeah.
do it. Bismillah.
This is different. I think kabhi eh haqiqat muntazar.
Okay.
He's talking about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you should come on the screen too. I just want to ask
Okay,
so
so
many
first we
questions.
read the kalam and then we translate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah.
You will automatically understand
Yeah.
this, the one
Okay.
who is having the.
Very
Let's do it.
comprehensive itself.
कभी ये हकीकत मुंतज़िर, कभी ये हकीकत मुंतज़िर, नज़र आ लिबासे मजाज में, के हजारों सजदे तड़प रहे, के हजारों सजदे तड़प रहे, है मेरी जबीने नयाज में, कभी ये हकीकत मुंतज़िर। तू बचा बचा के न रख इसे, तेरा आईना है वो आईना, तू बचा बचा के न रख इसे, तेरा आईना है वो आईना, कि शिकस्ता हो तो अजीज तर, के शिकस्ता हो तो अजीज तर, है निगाहे आईना साज में, कभी ये हकीकत मुंतज़िर। ना वो इश्क में रही गर्मियाँ, ना वो हुस्न में रही शोखियाँ, ना वो इश्क में रही गर्मियाँ, ना वो हुस्न में रही शोखियाँ, ना वो गज़नवी में तड़प रही, ना वो गज़नवी में तड़प रही, ना वो गम है ज़ुल्फ़े अयाज़ में, कभी ये हकीकत मुंतज़िर। जो मैं सर बसजदा हुआ कभी, तो ज़मीं से आने लगी सदा, जो मैं सर बसजदा हुआ कभी, तो ज़मीं से आने लगी सदा, तेरा दिल तो है सनम आशना, तेरा दिल तो है सनम आशना, तुझे क्या मिलेगा नमाज में, कभी ये हकीकत मुंतज़िर नजर आ लिबासे मजाज में, के हजारों सजदे तड़प रहे हैं मेरी जबीने नयाज में, कभी ये हकीकत मुंतज़िर.
Beautiful. That was so superb early in the morning,
Beautiful.
ladies
As
and
always,
gentlemen.
Miss Sana, mashallah.
Wow, it was literally fabulous, and I had I cannot even express it in words how I felt, and all I wanted to say was once more, but it's perfectly all right, ladies and gentlemen. We have got a couple of very amazing guests waiting for you guys, and I think that it's about time that we actually need to invite them
Yes,
on the show
very
too.
quickly. But before that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I know then we won't have the time to
Yeah.
discuss this, they are the shining stars. We're waiting for them. But this question is for all of you. Now, we have established the fact that the youth itself is not, responsible for all the things that are going down. But there are some things that Iqbal specifically pointed out that he wanted to see in the youth of Pakistan. The characteristics of Shaheen, he has been always reiterating, right? So I'm going to mention some of them which I sort of found out, and then I want you guys to tell me where we're lacking and how can we cope up with it, okay? So first, Buland Parvaz, or lofty flight, always be the highest among all. Then there was strong vision and sight, Tez Nigah. And then there was, they do not settle for anything or a permanent dwelling, Ashiana nahi banate, Shaheen, when we talk about them. They do not feed on someone else's prey. Kisi aur ka shikar nahi khate, Shaheen, when we talk about them. And the positive attitude and the critical thinking. These are the 5 important characteristics that Iqbal himself wanted to see in every generation of Pakistan. Are
ये तो
we
तुमने
also-
शाहीनों में इंसानों वाले characteristics बता
So
दिए.
that's what he said. No, but do you think we are on the same page with Iqbal?
Definitely, see, this is what we need to revive
Right.
these days. Because Iqbal, he always symbolized youth as hawks. Shaheen,
Right.
and Shaheen never compromised on something below standards.
On his
So
dignity and
yeah, on his
integrity as well.
dignity, integrity. Plus, he wanted youth to keep. Why did he symbolize him youth with Shaheen? He wanted them to aim very high. And he gave them the message of consistent and productive struggle
Right.
and effort, and not to stop and not to rely upon others.
Right.
We had such a glorious past, so we had the whole history behind us. And if we need inspiration, our inspiration is lies within our past, our our religion, the life of Holy Prophet, and all these things we need to revive. And if we being teachers, we being educationists, we have only included his poetry just for memorizing. We are actually, why the children are lacking,
you for
because we
saying
are unable to inculcate the true spirit, the reason, the ideology behind that. The day our teachers make our youth aware of all those qualities, there is no doubt. See, our children, they are not less than anyone.
Absolutely not.
They can rise, they can shine, and they can rule the world. The only thing is we need to stick to the ideology of Iqbal.
Very rightly said. Ms. Sabuhi.
Actually, teachers are supposed to be like the builders of the nation.
Yes.
And in Allama Iqbal's poetry, he always emphasizes the educationist systems and the educationist as well.
Yes.
Because in most of his poetry, he called madrasas and maktabs, and for the scholars, for the teachers, he used these sort of words. And actually, he believed that the teachers are only that power who is going to make the new youth or the youth of that country should go upwards, right?
Right.
Like he resembled all the youth like eagles. In his poetry, he uses this word Shaheen. नहीं तेरा नशे मन कसरे सुल्तानी के गुंबद पर, तू शाहीन है बसेरा कर पहाड़ों की चट्टानों पर.
Very beautifully said.
हमने याद किया.
Very beautifully said. But before we move out to a short break, Ms. Sana won't be with us in the second segment. Is there anything you need to tell to the generation? Here's your camera.
As you have asked about the Shaheen,
Yes, please.
I just want to complete this
Yeah.
with the concept that above all, there is a concept of Khudi.
Right.
You know, if you talk about Khudi, there's all other things covered into it. And I preferably feel that being a parent, being a teacher, it's our first and foremost duty to keep the vision of Iqbal and mission of Jinnah to alive in our youngsters.
And help students to aim high.
Yes,
I
definitely.
think that's what it is. But thank
They
you very
should
much
think big,
for
yes.
you being with us too as well. I think that Miss Rumana and Miss Abui are actually going to stay with us. But ladies and gentlemen, we've got a bunch of, in fact, we've got a bouquet coming into the show too as well. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere because we'll be right back. Good morning.
Stay tuned.
दियारे इश्क में अपना मकाम पैदा कर, नया जमाना नए सुबह शाम पैदा कर। परवाज है दोनों की इसी एक फजा में, करगस का जहां और है शाही का जहां और।
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Well This Morning with Shaza and Shahzad, and today we are celebrating the birth anniversary of poet of the East, Allama Muhammad Iqbal.
Exactly. And now, ladies and gentlemen, earlier we were definitely in conversation with the mothers of the nation, which we probably know as the teachers too as well, and or our spiritual parents, that's how we say it. And since we are celebrating the birth anniversary of our spiritual father, and it cannot be done by not including the kids, because he's got message for everybody too in his poetry as well. So we have been joined by a lot of kids from City School, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to say our hellos to them. Assalamu alaikum. Wassalam. Thank you very much for joining us. So one by one, I want everybody to tell us your name. We'll start
Out
with
loud,
you.
okay?
Yeah, what is your name?
My name is Ifra Wajid.
You have to shout. Ifra Wajid is with us. And what is your name?
Arisha Zara.
Alicia Zara.
Marosh Yasin.
Marosh Yasin.
Zimal Haq.
Zimal Haq.
Fatma Zishan.
Fatima Zishan.
Shavir Sultan.
Shavir Sultan. तुम सुल्तानों की तरह बोलो भी तो सही ना. Once again.
Shavir Sultan.
हाँ जी. Okay.
Umar. Ariz Umar.
Ariz Umar.
Ahad Umar.
Ahad Umar. Are you guys brothers?
Yes.
Okay, very nice. What about you, bete?
Alina Rizwan.
Alina Rizwan and
Abdullah West.
Abdullah Awais. Thank you very much for joining us. It's great. Do you guys know whose birth anniversary we are celebrating today?
Yes.
Whose?
Allama Iqbal.
Yes. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we have a surprise for you all, and that is that these young kids have actually prepared a small kalam too as well, and they're going to actually narrate it for all of you who are out there as well. So I think without any further ado, are you guys ready?
Yes.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Are you guys still ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, go. Play the music, please.
तेरी कौम का इकबाल खो गया, माजी तो सुनहरा है मगर हाल खो गया, वो रोबो दबदबा वो जलाल खो गया, वो हुस्ने बेमिसाल वो जमाल खो गया।
गुमशुदा है जो किताबों में कहीं, खो गया है जो निसाबों में कहीं, गुमशुदा है जो किताबों में कहीं, खो गया है जो निसाबों में
Beautiful. Pakistan! Yes, what a wonderful song. I never knew that a song like this existed. And you guys
It
did a
felt like it
tremendous
was
job. Thank you
out
very
of a
much, ma'am.
movie.
Yeah. And I just feel superb too as well. I never knew that, you know, such a song existed. Is it a song made by city schools by themselves?
No, this you know, our music teachers, they have taken this initiative.
Okay.
Because as I said, that you know, it's our duty to keep his message alive.
Absolutely.
And since this is the fourth or the fifth generation, as we said, so they only know Iqbal through the few of the rhymes which
Through
are
the
there,
textbook,
yeah,
yes.
through the textbook. So basically, we wanted to give the message to the youth that, you know, we need to revive his teachings, we need to revive his ideology, the concept that is fading out. So our music teachers, they have put up their heart and soul. Like the song is written by our music teacher, Mr. Naveed, and Miss Mahamarif, and it is composed by Mr. Naveed Anwar and Mr. Gibran and Mr. Eric. He has given the music. The children, they have, you know,
You've done
put their heart and soul into it. They have worked really hard.
They've
We
done a
love the
wonderful
idea.
job. But I just want to move on to kids over here very quickly. So how do you celebrate Iqbal Day when you guys are at your school?
Actually, we celebrate Iqbal Day in our school. Our school arranges a program,
Okay.
and we participate in it with full enthusiasm.
Yeah.
And we have tableaus. We do poetries of Allama Iqbal.
Yeah.
We sing songs, and we also have poetries of Allama Iqbal, speeches.
Tableaus,
And
role
that's-
plays, we celebrated with enthusiasm.
Wow, that's great. And talking about that, do you remember the names of the poems of Allama Muhammad Iqbal?
Yes, I know Hamdardi or
It's all right.
Makra or Makhi.
Yeah.
And
बच्चे की
yes.
दुआ,
Yeah.
बच्चे की दुआ, बुलबुल और जुगनू.
Wow. Do you want to say anything? Yeah, go ahead. Say something.
How do you celebrate Iqbal's Day? What does it mean to you?
Actually,
It's all right. Take your time.
okay.
Take a deep breath. Say whatever you want to say.
Okay, while you think about it, coming back to both of you, how do you've mentioned that you do perform tableaus and speeches and poems and all. What do you particularly do? Are you a part of a play as well, or do you do speeches?
I think he is.
I do speeches mostly.
yeah, I also.
Very nice. You guys are very good
Do you remember a
speakers.
few lines from the previous speech you guys did?
No.
Okay, it's all right. Okay, but now towards the end, what we're going to do is that we are actually going to, sing the song once again because I've loved it so much.
absolutely.
So I
Love
will
it.
request my producer to probably cue the music again as well. But towards the end, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much, ma'am, for putting in all the effort, bringing all the kids to the studio too as well. Thank you very much, kids. Thank you very much to the parents of all these amazing kids who are in here as well. That your kids are doing a wonderful job, and inshallah one day they will be the reflection of Iqbal's poetry, and that's what we want, ladies and gentlemen. But to wrap it up, I think this is how I'm going to actually wrap it up, and that it says that बुरा समझूं मैं उन्हें ऐसा मैं कर नहीं सकता क्योंकि मैं खुद भी हूँ इकबाल अपने नुक्ता चीनों में. And I think that this is something, if everybody keeps it closer to their hearts, I think everybody is going to be safe and everybody is going to be prosperous too as well. So don't forget to write to us on our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of,
Well this morning,
on Twitter,
well this morning without a G.
on Daily Motion and YouTube,
Well this morning,
and the fabulous repeat's going to be at.
11:05 in the night.
So till the next time, look after yourselves and let's play the music. We are going to sing along with you guys. Let's do it. Good morning.
हाल खो गया वो रोबो दबदबा वो जलाल खो गया वो हुस्न बेमिसाल वो जमाल खो गया